everyone. My name is Robert Franklin, and I'm going to talk to you all about my research on how individuals navigate the complex intersections of their faith and LGBTQ identities within contemporary religious communities. So now to look at the context and background. Me, growing up in St. Louis, Missouri, I was surrounded by conservative Christian values. I often wondered why society cares so deeply about who others love. This curiosity led me to explore how religion significantly shapes our cultural norms and attitudes towards sexuality. And my central research question asked, how do religious individuals navigate conflict between their faith and LGBTQ identities? I hypothesized that because religious traditions vary, individuals use different strategies, such as concealing their identity, reinterpreting their belief, or joining affirming communities to reconcile their faith and sexuality. And to look now a bit about the Abrahamic religions and beliefs, there is some evidence that many Abrahamic religions, such as Islam and Christianity, have historically interpreted texts like the story of Lot or some stories within Leviticus as condemning same sex relationships. These interpretations often extend beyond personal belief, heavily influencing legal systems and societal expectations. Now, there's a myth of uniformity. However, a key finding in my research is that religious traditions are not uniform or static. For instance, medieval Muslims and Christians widely accepted early Greek medical theories that viewed gender on a spectrum, showing that our modern binary understanding of gender is socially constructed and historically influenced. And so, within Christianity itself, there is no single viewpoint. There are many sects of Christianity. So today, we see multiple theological frameworks ranging from affirming theology that embraces LGBTQ identities to gay celibate theology. These ongoing debates show that religious perspectives involve with social change. And now to look at a global perspective. Globally, we can see many diverse societies, belief systems. For example, in Thailand, Buddhists or Buddhism influences and creates a more open environment. In India, Hindu traditions historically show flexibility, but British colonization and the whole colonialism that they did in this area introduced a strict homophobic laws. And meanwhile, in Africa, in many societies that had Christianity, there is there is growing LGBT affirming Christian movement, which is wonderful. And now, for LGBTQ individuals within these communities, the tension is profound. The concepts of heteronormativity, where heterosexual monogamous relationships are the ideal, creates immense pressure on these individuals. Depending on their context, expressing their identity can risk their safety, employment, and family support. So, how do they navigate this? My research identified several key strategies in restrictive environments like Afghanistan. Individuals often conceal their identities. Others actively reinterpret their religious texts to focus on compassion, or they seek out any and create new inclusive religious spaces that affirm both their faith and sexuality. The analyst, and to analyze this whole research, I was able to reveal to myself that religion can both constrain and enable individuals. People are not just passive recipients of religious doctrine. They actively negotiate, challenge, and shape these systems. This proves that faith and LGBTQ identities do not have to be inherently in conflict. And so, in conclusion, religious traditions are diverse and constantly evolving. The emergence of LGBTQ affirming movement demonstrate that it is entirely possible to reconcile faith and identity. Ultimately, individuals transform their religious traditions to authentically reflect their lived experiences. And here are all of the references that I use in my research. And I just want to say thank you all for the time and the attention. If you have any questions, please, please, please let me know.